I spent years claiming I provided for my family, but my brother proved otherwise. For as long as I can remember, I was the golden child, the responsible daughter, the one relatives praised at every gathering. Mom would brag to her church friends about how I covered the mortgage. Dad would tell his poker buddies I paid for his heart surgery. Cousins whispered about how generous I was compared to my older brother, and I let them believe every single word. My brother Matthew worked on oil rigs in Alaska, gone for months at a time, no social media, barely any phone calls. He'd send money to our joint family account every 2 weeks, and I'd distribute it. That was the arrangement we made 5 years ago, except I never told anyone the money came from him. Every deposit he made, I claimed as mine. Every medical bill he covered, I took credit for. Every tuition payment for our younger cousins. Every emergency withdrawal. I let everyone think it was coming from my pocket. Matthew never corrected anyone. He was always too quiet at family events. He'd sit in the corner while I commanded the room with stories about my financial sacrifices. So when relatives assumed I was the provider, he just shrugged. I figured if he didn't care about credit, why should I give it to him? Last Thanksgiving, everything came crashing down. Matthew showed up unannounced with a woman named Diane, a financial analyst he'd met in Anchorage. Sharp eyes, confident posture. I hated her immediately. During dinner, my Aunt Rosa mentioned how grateful she was that I'd paid for her daughter's braces. She teared up talking about the $4,200 treatment. Diane's fork stopped midair. Wait, she said slowly. Matthew told me he sent $4,200 specifically for that. The table went silent. My mother laughed nervously. Oh honey, Matthew barely sends anything. He's always been the selfish one. Diane's expression hardened. She pulled out her phone and opened her banking app. This is his transfer history. She turned the screen toward my parents. $47,000 this year alone. I watched my father's face drain of color. That's impossible, Mom whispered. She told us Matthew only sends a few hundred. Matthew just sat there staring at his plate. But Diane wasn't finished. He also sent $6,000 for your anniversary trip to Hawaii. She looked directly at me. Did they go? My hands started shaking. What trip? Dad asked. I never told them about Hawaii. I used that money to buy myself a car. The next 3 hours were the worst of my life. Every lie came pouring out. The surgery Matthew paid for that I claimed was from my savings. The roof repair I said came from my bonus. The $15,000 that was actually his signing bonus from a new contract. My mother couldn't stop crying. She kept repeating, we called him selfish, to his face. My father wouldn't look at me. Matthew finally spoke. One sentence. I trusted you. Then he stood up, took Diane's hand, and walked out. He didn't slam the door. That quiet exit hurt more than screaming ever could. The aftermath was nuclear. Relatives started calling, demanding answers. My cousin Sarah posted everything on Facebook. Screenshots of my lies, timelines of Matthew's contributions, questions about why I drove a BMW on a receptionist's salary. My boyfriend of 4 years left me. He said he couldn't be with someone who'd deceived their own family. My job fired me after the posts went viral and someone reported I'd been claiming to be a senior manager when I was an assistant. I tried reaching Matthew. Called, texted, emails. He blocked me everywhere. My parents still speak to me, but the conversations are hollow. My mother looks at me like she's searching for the daughter she thought she raised. 3 months later, I'm stocking shelves at a grocery store. I live in a studio apartment that smells like mildew. Most friends won't return my calls. Matthew got married last month. I found out through Instagram. Yesterday, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside was a photograph of a newborn baby girl. On the back, he'd written, I named her Hope. She'll never know her aunt. I spent years building a reputation on my brother's sacrifice. Now I live in the ruins of every lie I told. He never asked for credit. He just wanted a sister who didn't steal his identity to feel important. I thought I was the voice of this family. Turns out I was just the loudest liar in the room.